Hello everyone, this here is not a review. It is just me, a plastic model building amateur, looking at a thing and talking about it. This is the Bandai Gundam series HG Messer, and it's a mech that I bought because I like the look of it a lot, and I actually held off on buying it for quite some time because it is a high-grade kit, and I focus on 1/100th scale stuff. This is 1/144th scale. However, I only recently realized that, well, it's the same size as a 1/100th scale. In universe, it's a very, very large mech. The things in the time of Hathaway's Flash, where this is from, were rather large. And I just like this thing so much, and especially the color scheme of this one. This is the F01, the basic F01. It's also a F02 unit, which is basically the same color scheme. Almost looks the same if you're not looking too closely. But yeah, this over here, I already did a video about this really quickly, is a 1/100th scale Death Scythe EW edition. And basically this thing will live just fine. This Messer will live just perfectly fine in my collection of mostly 1/100th scales. It practically could be sitting or standing right next to a Zaku, like my Zaku Phantom, or a my Goof Custom or something, and it just kind of stands shoulder to shoulder with other Zeonic looking units as this is. I just love the color scheme. This was another snip and snap build for me, so absolutely minimal work done on it, even to build it. This was basically built in one session on Twitch. It was technically split over two, if I recall correctly, but that was just because of limitation, extreme limitation on time. But yeah, I wanted it. I bought it. It was relatively cheap. It's like $30-something, $35-ish, maybe a little bit less than that. Yeah, I have 31 maybe. And for something that large with that much plastic, yeah, definitely happy with that. And afterwards, I did come back and do just a tiny bit of panel lining on it. Just couldn't help myself. And I will eventually top coat this as well. Probably I'm going to go all the way to matte rather than doing a semi-gloss because of the size of it, and because I really want it to look a little bit more military, take all of that sheen away entirely. The hoses, the ends of the hoses are done with stickers. That was a disappointment to me. That goes for these two on either side, as well as the ones up here. Was not expecting that at all, but fortunately they are foil stickers. It's the same sheet that has the mono eye sticker that you can just barely see inside of there now. And they really had to fold around. You have to be very careful to line them up, but ultimately they do fold around just fine, and they really add a nice strong pop of color in there. So in the end, it worked out. The build of this was fantastic. I love the body. I won't spoil it for anybody who hasn't built this, but the body has a funky trick. Why is this not moving now? It seems like I got locked up. There we go. It has a funky trick in the build. There's a movement that you do during the build that is it's just fun. Overall, I'd say the engineering for this is pretty excellent. It's simple, it's easy to put together for the most part, but in the end you end up with just something that is very satisfying, especially for a mere high-grade kit. It's one of the most recent kits that I have built, period, of any type, and I'm happy with that. Not going to get into collecting all the 1/100ths, it's going to be all the 1/44th scales. Just a fair warning to anybody watching this, I'm not getting into RG 1/100th is my scale. It's what I want. I'm not interested in She or Penelope or Kshatriya or what's the lobster. I'm always forgetting the name of the lobster shell thing. Always forgetting that. But anyway, I'm not going off doing other things. I'm only buying the sets that I personally want to buy, and I am aware of many kits that are out there, and I'm going to continue to just buy stuff that I enjoy and enjoy the hobby at my own pace with the kits that I like, and doing the amount of detail that is appropriate or the amount of extra work that is appropriate for the amount of time that I have available to me, which is almost none. Actually, it's kind of negative time. I just eat out of time when I should be sleeping or eating. But eventually I might come back and actually do some detailing on this weapon here, maybe, just because it is very, very plain and basic with the very soapy grays that are used for it, especially compared to the box art and the promotional art, which shows it rather different. It actually shows it with a slightly greenish color to it that, and from some angles, looks similar to the dark beige or dark tan of the main body color, but has a different hue to it. But all in all, I'm very happy with this thing. I'm not going to do again, this is not a review, so I'm not going to do a full look at its articulation and everything, but it's got plenty. It's got plenty of nice movement in there that is very satisfying to me. Least satisfying parts are the kama pieces or the waist skirt pieces, just because, as usual, they fall off. They fall off too easily, definitely too easily. There's some, the rear ones, oh, I actually pulled that apart accidentally. The rear ones have a small joint in there that falls out easily. The front ones have, it's a one-dimensional, single axis joint, falls apart easily. And the front ones are on ball joints that are really simple, and these can pull out very easily. I don't know why Bandai doesn't do better with those, but fortunately, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, that's the worst thing I can say about this. This does have a ton of posability. There's a ton of range of motion, practically 180 degrees at the knees and at the elbows as well, as long as you're able to get everything out of the way. And it's pretty stable. The worst thing as far as the stability is concerned is just right in this wrist, the right wrist. Yeah, right there. It's just, you can see, there it goes. It's just loose at one spot. So tiniest bit of modification. There are a ton of things that you can do to easily fix that, you know, as a modeler, but just straight out of the box, just a straight build. Just wanted to point out the fact that it is a little bit loose for me, but I'm really happy with this thing. Look forward to building up an Action Base 4 to have it in a nice action pose, and I'll put it on display and just enjoy it. That'll be after I spray paint it with some clear matte though, and not semi-gloss. I'm going to go all the way with this one. Thank you for watching. That's it. Just wanted to share that, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.